中国新年、除夕和春节。
January 28th, 2025 is Chinese New Year's Eve, which is the last day of the Chinese lunar calendar year. January 29th is Chinese Spring Festival, which is the first day of the Chinese Lunar New Year. 2025 is the year of the snake in the Chinese lunar calendar, and we call it 蛇年. 2024 is the year of the dragon, and we call it 龙年. Therefore, in addition to the numerical calendar used by countries around the world, China also has its own calendar. And the easiest way to remember is to use the 12 zodiac signs. So a child born after January 29th, 2025 will have a zodiac sign of the snake. And a child born after Spring Festival in 2024 will have a zodiac sign of dragon. The year I was born was the year of the pig, so my zodiac sign is pig. The zodiac sign of the pig is considered to be lucky. If a Chinese person asks you, 你属什么? The word 属 here is to ask what is the zodiac sign of the year you were born. So you can ask your Chinese friend, 你属什么? He will tell you the corresponding zodiac sign of the year he was born. The Chinese zodiac sign of each year is different, so sometimes we hear different New Year greetings. So what are the commonly used greetings? You could take notes here. 新年快乐, 新年好 both mean Happy New Year, and 巴拉巴拉年大吉, that means good luck in the new year. These are the simplest and the easiest greetings to remember. If this year is the year of snake, we would say 蛇年大吉. If it's the year of the dragon, we would say 龙年大吉. So you can use these greetings to say Happy New Year to a Chinese. A few days before New Year's Eve, if you live in a big city, you will notice that many shops are closed, and there are not as many people on the road as usual. But there are a lot of people at the train station, high-speed rail station, and airport. It turns out that many people working in big cities are going back to their hometowns. China has always been a big agricultural country. Although many places have achieved urbanization now, our grandparents' generation were almost all farmers and may have stayed in their hometowns all their lives. It was not until our parents' generation, maybe 1960s or 1970s, that China began to develop rapidly and needed many people to move to big cities to meet the needs of national industrialization. For example, in my hometown, relatives and neighbors who are about the same age as my parents are engaged in industries related to transportation, construction, and car repair. These are all production needs brought about by industrial development. So many people leave their hometowns to work in large cities in order to survive and make money. Some people may only go home during the Spring Festival holiday. The Spring Festival holiday lasts at least 7 days. It is a national statutory holiday. If some companies still let their employees go to work on these days, they must pay triple wages. The Spring Festival and New Year's Eve are the most important festivals of the year for Chinese people. Why are they so important? Because these two festivals are the festivals to bid farewell to the past year and welcome the new year. With good hopes for the coming year, the Chinese family reunites, wishes each other well, and continues to work hard in the next year. In order to welcome these two most important festivals, Chinese people are very busy. What are they busy with? We have to do a lot of things, such as going to the supermarket to buy New Year's goods. That's 年货 in Chinese. New Year's goods are things needed during the new year, such as candy, nuts, wine, beverages, and cigarettes. I bought New Year's goods online, which are some nutritional supplements and candy, and have sent them back to my hometown. My boyfriend also bought cigarettes for my dad. So New Year's goods, 年货, are things you treat guests to your home, and things you give to the host when you visit someone's home. Most of them are food and drinks. There is also cleaning. 2 days before New Year's Eve, we will give the house a thorough cleaning, not only to bid farewell to the old and welcome the new, but also to ensure that when guests come to your house, they will see that your house is clean and tidy. Then is to buy Spring Festival couplets, 春联, and post them on the door. The words on the couplets are a bit like ancient poems, but the meanings all contain auspicious blessings, such as good health, prosperity, peace, and happiness, which reflects the Chinese people's good wishes and positive and optimistic attitude for the new year. In addition to the couplets on both sides of the door, there is also a hanging word, 福. Chinese people will hang a big 福, sometimes upside down, on the door. 福 means happiness. It is hung upside down because upside down in Chinese is the word 到, and the word of arrival also is 到. So same pronunciation. So it means that happiness has arrived. If there are children in the family, they should also buy fireworks and firecrackers. Children will set off a lot of firecrackers during the Chinese New Year. The parents and elders will also buy them new clothes. On New Year's Eve or the Spring Festival, the children will wear new clothes and happily welcome the new year with the sound of loud firecrackers. Of course, one thing that children also look forward to is receiving red envelopes, that is, money, because the elders will wrap the money in red envelopes, so it's called 红包. 红包. If it's money given by the elders to children during the Chinese New Year, it is more accurately called 压岁钱. New Year's money. If it is less, it's dozens of yuan, 几十块. If it's ordinary, it's hundreds, 几百块. If it's more, it is thousands, that is 几千块, or tens of thousands, 几万块. Giving New Year's money is to celebrate that the child has grown 1 year older. Sometimes the elderly in the family will also receive red envelopes, which is also a reflection that Chinese are very family-oriented. When I was a child, I would receive New Year's money from my parents, uncles, and aunts every year. Sometimes it was 50 yuan, sometimes it was several hundred. I kept this money myself and would not give it to my parents. Of course, my parents would also give New Year's money to the children of my uncles and aunts. So for adults, the New Year is a time that their wallets are empty, but for children, it is the time their wallets are full. But when I grew up and earned money myself, they no longer give me New Year's money. This year, my boyfriend also gave red envelopes to his father and sister, and when he went to my hometown, he would also give red envelopes to my mother. In his words, he will 大出血 during the Chinese New Year. And the word 血 means blood. Here it means money. And blood is very precious. Comparing blood to money means that he thinks he will spend a lot of money during the Chinese New Year. In addition to this, the most important thing to prepare the day before New Year's Eve is the family dinner. If we choose to spend New Year's Eve and the Spring Festival at home, we have to go to the vegetable market in advance to buy vegetables. At this time, beef and mutton are very popular in the vegetable market. Usually, Chinese people eat pork most often. Beef and mutton are more expensive than pork. But during the Spring Festival, we have to eat more abundantly. So beef, mutton, and seafood are more popular. We have to buy the ingredients 1 or 2 days before New Year's Eve because there will be few people selling vegetables on New Year's Eve. And many people have already returned home for the Spring Festival. In addition, the vegetables are very expensive when bought on New Year's Eve. Some people choose to eat at restaurants, so they only need to book restaurants and dishes in advance and do not need to prepare them at home. So the Chinese New Year holiday is also a time when restaurants are very busy. However, most Chinese people are hardworking and frugal, and they will choose to celebrate the Chinese New Year at home. Because the Spring Festival is still in winter in China, the temperature is relatively low, so we will prepare hot pot. Meat and vegetables can be put in a hot pot and cooked. In addition to hot pot, there are many other dishes. So the mother at home is the busiest at this time, and she has to prepare a large table of dishes. This year, my boyfriend and his family and I spent New Year's Eve in Kunming. We had hot pot at noon and in the evening. We would use a very old copper pot from his family to cook meat and vegetables. This copper pot is a more traditional pot in Yunnan. It needs to be burned with charcoal, and the cooked dishes taste better. This copper pot has been in his family for decades. It was made by his father himself. China is very big, and the food in each place has the characteristics of that place. On New Year's Eve, the family will gather together, either at the parents' home or at the home of the children who are already worked or married. We will prepare a hearty lunch and dinner together, then chat and eat snacks. The children will wear their new clothes and set off fireworks. The adults who don't have to prepare meals will play cards and mahjong together. In my hometown, the women in the family are the busiest during the New Year every year, and the others just play cards and mahjong. My parents also like to play mahjong very much, and they feel happy whether they win or lose. But for me, this is very boring. I would rather go out for a walk, see the scenery, and eat delicious food. In my hometown, there is another important thing on New Year's Eve or in the afternoon, which is to worship ancestors. We will buy fake paper money and incense in advance and burn it. At the same time, we would kneel down and kowtow and say some words to the air to meet the ancestors. Generally, Chinese people will say some words to pray for the ancestors, to bless them with peace and health, and ask them to take the money to use. This also reflects the traditional idea of Chinese people to value family and miss their ancestors. After the family has eaten a hearty meal at noon and in the evening, in addition to playing cards, mahjong, and setting off fireworks, there is one more thing that many families do, which is to turn on the TV and watch the official media's Spring Festival Gala, which is referred to as 看春晚. The Spring Festival Gala invites many famous artists to perform, so many people like to watch it. Some less famous artists may become famous in China overnight because of their wonderful performances in the Spring Festival Gala. But now, watching the Spring Festival Gala seems to be something that old people do to kill time, and young people prefer to watch other interesting programs or movies on their mobile phones. Unlike before, when there was only TV, the whole family sat together to watch the Spring Festival Gala from beginning to end. The Spring Festival Gala program will last from 8 p.m. to 12 o'clock. Many Chinese people will choose to sleep after 12 o'clock to complete the span from 2024 to 2025. Moreover, When the countdown to 12 o'clock is reached, it is also the time for everyone to set off fireworks and firecrackers. As soon as 12 o'clock arrives, we can hear very loud noises. Except for people with good sleep quality, others will feel noisy and excited. So when the bell and fireworks sound at 12 o'clock, the Chinese people welcome the arrival of the new year in their own ways. On the day of the Spring Festival, Chinese people will visit their parents or grandparents. Many people will also go to the temple to burn incense and pray to the Buddha to bless themselves and their families to work and live smoothly in the new year. Then they will continue to prepare abundant meals, set off fireworks, and contact relatives to discuss the time of New Year's greetings. New Year's greetings, we call it 拜年. 拜年 are what Chinese people will do after the Spring Festival, that is, bring New Year's goods, visit relatives and friends, chat with them, eat meals, and take advantage of the Spring Festival holiday to strengthen the connection between each other. Who you go to for New Year's greetings first depends on the result of your discussion, but it is generally in the order of the elders to the younger generations of the family. For example, on the first day of the new year, you go to your grandparents' home. On the second day, you go to your uncle, maybe your mother's big brother's home. On the third day, you go to your father's big brother's home. And on the fourth day, you go to your big sister's home. Younger people who are not married will go to other relatives' home with their parents to pay New Year's greetings, 拜年. For married young people, the elders will also come to their home to 拜年. If you go to someone else's home to pay New Year's greetings, you need to bring New Year's goods. If someone comes to your home to pay New Year's greetings, you need to prepare a hearty lunch or dinner. Some people choose to eat directly in a restaurant so that the mother's pressure at home will be much less. Therefore, during the Spring Festival holiday, the business of restaurants and supermarkets is very good. When I was a child, we celebrate the New Year like this almost every year. We would first celebrate the New Year at home and eat a hearty meal, and then visit relatives and eat another hearty meal. So during the New Year holiday, the stomach would be the most tired and exhausted. If you don't know how to control your diet, many people would get sick from eating too much or drinking too much. Nowadays, many young people do not like to eat and drink all the time during the Spring Festival holiday. They choose to travel with their family and friends to celebrate the Spring Festival. Go to other places to see the scenery and relax, and taste the local food. The more people live in big cities, the more they tend to travel during the Spring Festival holiday and not visit relatives. In rural areas, the custom of visiting relatives is still adhered to, and relatives get together to eat, drink, chat, and play cards. Of course, I prefer to travel to visit relatives, but because I live and work in Kunming all year round and go home less often, so I still have to accompany my parents in my hometown and then visit relatives.